Greetings, all my wonderful friends. I hope everyone's doing fantastic. I'm just going to talk about something I see with Trump. Oh my God, there's like parts of cars in the road. I'm really starting to feel he is the precursor of the fall of the American Empire. Okay, if you didn't know, America is an empire. So first we started in Jamestown, this little colony, allegedly or whatever, on the East Coast, and English went over there, and then they settled, and they had colonies, so the British Crown could get some money from them. We expanded, and as we expanded, we took out countless native nations, many of them more pleasant societies than we were, but we were more powerful. They were more pleasant, we were more powerful. We expanded as an empire over a vast landmass, a continent, and that is one of the things that makes America now as a country outstanding. It is a big country, oceans on both sides, harder to get an invading army. They'd have to come on boats, to get to us if they wanted to come from the old world, unless, Mexico decides to take us out. Don't think that's happening. But, or Canada, those maybe my mom is a spy. She's Canadian. Anyways, we are an empire. So first we hit the lower 48, and then we started looking abroad. We went after Spain's possessions in the different oceans around the world. Cuba, Puerto Rico, the Philippines, we got Guam, we carved up Samoa, and I said this in a previous video. We are an empire. We have thousands of bases around the world. 800, I believe. I can't think of the number right now. Permanent military installations that the American government admits to. Then they have a whole bunch of others. They have a whole AFRICOM has a whole bunch now in Africa, because Africa is a very rich continent. We act like it's poor, and that's the big psyop that's propagated in the education system, that Africa is poor and we need to give those poor Africans money because they don't know what to do on their own. So we gotta be the good country. I'm sorry, taxpayers, but your government is so good that we have to give money to Africa so they can just make it, and you can be frustrated that those inferior people breed. But it's the right thing because we stand for human rights regardless of how mentally inferior the people are. Total BS, but it serves the power structure. It serves the imperialists. True story. Africa is maybe the wealthiest continent on Earth. Likely. 1. 2, if we cared about people not being smart, all we'd have to do, not being smart, is send them iodized salt. Marasmus, that disease that happens from a lack of iodine can be avoided with freaking iodized salt. And we don't give it every year, I forget the number, like hundreds of thousands of children are born with marasmus, and it mentally impairs them, and now instead of being a productive member of society, they are a burden on that society. The same one that guess what? Iodized salt is not expensive, very cheap, a lot, probably one F-35 could probably pay for a decade, I'm just guessing, a decade, maybe 100 years of iodized salt importation to Africa. We could do it, we can have it made in Africa. But again, they don't really care about the African people. They're not helping. Money goes to Africa, but it's so the imperialists can then, we spend it on military, AFRICOM, and the military or guns so they can kill each other to get the people off the land so the Imperials can then steal the resources from that land. The hidden history, and then you got the IMF, the World Bank, strapping those countries in loans, bribing officials, or if that doesn't work, having the CIA take them out, getting them in debt so we can get their resources that way. We are not helping those countries, dude. Bottom line. But with Trump, like, the things he does, the bull in the china shop, from pulling out of treaties that make the world safer, from saying, I don't care if they've chopped up a journalist alive because I want to make money. Or China, go kill your people that are working at pharmaceutical companies that manufacture chemicals that are then placed into American drugs and happen to kill some people. Like, why don't we go to our own pharmaceutical companies when they kill thousands like Vioxx did, like opioids do today, and start killing those CFOs, CEOs, COs, and everyone who was somehow related to any sort of marketing, any sort of reaching out to the doctors, which happened. There was a concerted effort to increase the use of opioids. They went after the doctors, said they were under-treating pain. But we're not going to touch those people. We're going to tell China to do it. Anyways, it just shows the world that America does not care, that we are just a racist, hateful nation. Barack Obama was eloquent and confused them. After Bush, after the wars, of aggression where we went in and invaded sovereign nations, the CIA fact book says it was because Iraq was violating UN whatever protocols, but the UN inspectors that went in there said they were in compliance. Total BS. The world knows that, but still Barack Obama came in. Maybe they are for hope, maybe they are for the good, blah, blah, blah. Well, Trump comes in here and he's just telling it how it is. And I think the long-term effects of this are going to weaken incredibly American influence that we have. We don't even know the blowback that's coming from all our, the 100 billion in intelligence that that they steal from our pocketbooks that go into bribing people. There's just you're going to have to be a real piece of shit now, not someone confused, not someone giving the wrong information, to work with our intelligence agencies. Not only that, it's going to be pure, all you're going to attract now is people with pure self-interest, and people that, if it's in their self-interest, will then double cross you. You're not getting very solid people to work with you. That is what Trump is doing long-term effect. And I'm not totally against that, because what we have been doing is exploiting the world, and that is not a good thing. But it is what it is, wrong or right. So I am making a prediction. Trump is the beginning of the end. It is not his fault. He is not the cause. He is a symptom of the same people that created those policies, that robbed our wealth and gave us a third world model and infrastructure because they wanted to go kill people, all the while countries like China kept on advancing and surpassed us in some ways. And I'm not saying China is great. Every government is corrupt, but one of the military that spends 10 times more as the next 10 is probably the most corrupt. Probably a direct correlation. China spends a lot trying to bring their people out of poverty, which the 80% of the poverty elimination that's gone on in Asia in recent times has happened in China. They have the most women billionaires in the world, and 98% of Chinese billionaires are self-made. Now, a large percentage of them will lose a lot of that wealth because in China, greed has not... It's against the philosophies. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. I think Trump is really destroying our foreign policy is a mess, is horrible, is destructive, is myopic, is corrupt, is for the benefit of the few at the detriment of millions. 1 million died from the first Iraq war. When ex-head of CIA President Bush brought in a 15-year-old girl who had to be the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador, said they could not tell you who she was out of fear of reprisal from this crazy Iraq government who just invaded Kuwait. They left out the fact that they kind of gave them the okay that Kuwait was cross-drilling, stealing the oil from Iraq, and that the girl was a Kuwaiti ambassador trained by a prestigious PR firm to lie to the Congress and to the American people to get support, to take out the government, put in sanctions, which happened to kill 1 million people. Then we have the second Iraq invasion, which killed more than 2 million people, and that's not including all the other countries. So I'm not saying it was a good policy, but I'm saying it is going to be a bumpy road ahead for those guys. Luckily, they're all fucking millionaire pieces of shit and are going to be okay. And it's really only the people that are going to suffer for the most part. Lucky for them, too bad for us. Everyone have a wonderful, fantastic day. Be safe. It's raining today in California. Thank God, finally. Take care.